Got something pretty cool in the mail today. This is a home ASIC miner that plugs into your PC using a PCIe power cable, just like a graphics card. And this was sent over by ASLMiner. They haven't paid me to do the review or anything. I basically just asked them, could I show off this really unique miner that goes into your computer? You don't need, you don't need desk space to put like a BitAxe down or a Nano 3S, anywhere like that. Just goes into your computer for home mining, and I thought this was pretty cool. So far, as you can see on the box, it is called the MagicMiner. On the box, at the back, it says MagicMiner BG02. That is the model name, and I'll come to that in a moment because there's something pretty cool inside, which is a bit of a secret. Now, it's got this very wizardry look with all the spells and runes, tablets and things with the wizard in the middle. There's another wizard on the side right there and another rune tablet. So it's got the aesthetic. Now, the aesthetic actually continues on the inside as well. But right now, here is the MagicMiner BG02. It is 12 volts at 20 amps, 7 terahash plus or minus 5%, and it's 240 watts. There is a bit of discrepancy here, which I actually need to ask about, but instead of asking, I thought I would just test it myself. I do have a power meter, because on the website itself for MagicMiner themselves, the BG02 is actually officially 150 watts at 7 terahash, which would be roughly equivalent to around about a Nano 3S in terms of efficiency, which is just over 6 terahash at 140 watts. So we're going to do an unboxing here. So you got the cool wizardry lock. Let's get this unboxed. So first we are greeted by nothing, basically just a piece of foam, packing foam. Keep it nice and tight inside there, make sure it doesn't flop around, and also a booklet. This is the user manual. As you can see right there, it says user manual, and the user manual is pretty cool. It is a spell book, so they're keeping the aesthetics there of the idea about wizardry. You can pause that if you'd like to read all that, but basically it's a wizard holding a graphics card ASIC looking device, which is basically the device in here. So go to the first page. It's basically just like product series, product information, scan for detailed specs on purchasing of this product and other products. But at the second, I am showing you about what this product is. This one is the secret page. This is the secret page. I'll show you there. Hopefully you can get that. Let's see if I can focus that. You can pause that if you would like. But I'll tell you that there's different model numbers. Obviously you have like, your 4080s, 4090s, things like that. This is kind of the same. It goes up in model numbers. So the BG01, which was the previous version of this, was 5 terahashes at 160 watts. This version, the BG02, is 7 terahash at under 170 watts. So here it's saying 170 watts. The website's saying 150. The graphics card ASIC itself says 200, and the box itself says 240. So we're going to have to confirm this. But the BG03 isn't released yet, and that would be 12 terahash at under 200 watts. That will be an interesting one. And then there is a mysterious line that's question mark, and just lots of question marks. So that is for the future. So they're already preemptively showing you a bit of what the BG03 would be. But we're not here to talk about that. Let's unbox this. So you're greeted with the ASIC miner here that goes in your PC. So you got obviously the PCIe slot that you put in. You got here the back plate, some good ventilation here. Let me get it out the nice foamed box. It is good foamed box, solid foam. It is a little bit squishy, which is actually what you want. You don't want solid foam for shipping materials because one sharp impact will actually destroy it. So this has got some nice give. So on the back, as you see right there, it does say 200 watts. So we're definitely going to have to confirm this. On the back here, which is the exit area, normally for your graphics card where you would have HDMI and DisplayPort and that, this actually has an RJ45 port for Ethernet and a Wi-Fi antenna. Personally, I would actually use the RJ45 port because you are literally nanoseconds, even milliseconds quicker than Wi-Fi. And that basically means quite a bit when you're solo mining. You can get to that block just even nanoseconds and milliseconds quicker than anyone else, and that block will be yours. So personally, on miners, always use the RJ45 Ethernet jack. It does have a covering on, so we're going to take this little plastic covering off, so just protects it from scratching. So there you go. That is basically a graphics card looking ASIC. Basically two PC looking fans here as well. As you can see, there is an 8-pin PCIe power connector that you basically take in from your power supply into here like you would a graphics card. There is a screen. The screen is to show terahash, so what you're hashing at, your IP address for the miner to log in on the website and everything to get it all set up, which I will do and show you after I've done this. It will also show you the current Bitcoin price as well, which will take it obviously from the internet as well. It is pretty light, and we will actually get the measurements for you as well. So it is, we'll do this in millimeters. It is 262 millimeters long. The width itself, or technically it would be height in a PC case, is 110 millimeters, and obviously thickness is about 51 millimeters. So it is pretty small. It's a pretty small looking graphics card that will fit in basically most PC cases these days. So what we're going to do is we are going to stop recording here. I'm going to plug it into my PC because obviously I need to turn my PC off. Plug it into my PC, get it all set up, and then we'll get the power meter on it with the camera, and we'll see actually straight away what it actually draws in terms of power, and then we'll fully set it up, etc., and show you how all that's done. The ASICMiner is now plugged into the computer via a 8-pin PCIe power from my power supply, as well as it is powered on because my computer is powered on, which also means unfortunately I cannot test how much wattage it is pulling from the wall because your PC needs to be on. So that means I would also be testing my CPU and graphics card for how much wattage that is also pulling. But I will link down below a video from Red Panda Mining and Rabbit Mining of the actual ASICMiner on an external power supply, and it does pull 150 watts, which I will show you when we get to the dashboard as well. Right, we are now on the MagicMiner dashboard itself. So in the bottom right hand corner you can see the actual MagicMiner. It is plugged into my PC, and it's just going to keep scrolling through the different things, as you can see, like the Bitcoin price, the hash rate, etc., while you're not actually on the dashboard. So this is the dashboard. I initially did a few things that were off screen, like entering your network information. Once you actually plug the MagicMiner into your PC, you have to go to your Wi-Fi settings on your computer. It will create its own little hotspot. You then connect to it. Then it will bring up this dashboard. You then go to your network, you enter your network information, and then you restart it, and then it will automatically be on your network, so you don't have to join its own network. So we're just going to look quickly at these top bits here. This is the hash rate. This is what the real-time hash rate will be on the pool. The average hash rate, of course, is the average hash rate after a certain amount of length of time. It will average it out and work out what the average hash rate is. Your shares on the pool, this is basically the best way I can explain it, is you're taking little bits of the block, and that's your shares that you've accepted. The wattage here is 147.8 watts, so it's roughly around about the 150 watt mark that the actual website was suggesting, which leads me to believe that this is the official wattage is 150 watts, not the 240 that was on the box and not 200 that was on the graphics card ASICMiner basically. The efficiency here, you basically want the lower number the better. So the lower the joules per terahash, the more efficient your miner is. So try and get that as low as possible for any miner you buy. That is what you should be looking for, the joules per terahash. At this moment in time, the ASIC is at 76.5 degrees. That's a little warm, but it is in a computer with expensive, powerful hardware. Not everyone will have that, so your ASIC temperature may vary depending on what hardware you also have in your computer. VR temp is basically like the hotspot temperature for the ASIC. These down here are quite interesting. So fan RPM, I have no idea why it is set to 0. I can obviously hear it, so the fans must be on either auto or something is not being detected. The ASIC frequency is 500 megahertz at 11.9 volts. As we did see before, it is around about 12 volts. That seems correct. And at 1.24 volts for the ASIC voltage itself. So it seems from the ASIC frequency and the ASIC voltage, if you're brand new to home mining, don't really want to mess with that, but it's basically like overclocking on a graphics card. So if you change the frequency and change the voltage, like up them both, you can basically overclock the card, the ASIC miner, and get higher terahash, but that also includes higher wattage. So you kind of don't want to mess with it unless you know what you're doing. Swarm, it seems Swarm is basically what your last hash rate was, your uptime, your best difficulty, etc. So that's quite interesting. You can manually add it or refresh it. It will refresh the list itself. Network speaks for itself. That's where you input your network details. Pool configuration. The first thing what you want to do is when you boot up the MagicMiner and you want to input your pool information. So initially, it was on via BTC. Personally, I don't use via BTC. I use Solohash. I am in the UK, so I use Solohash because I solo mine Bitcoin Cash myself. So what you would do is you click Get Started. You would then go, what would you like? Would you like Bitcoin, or would you like Bitcoin Cash, or would you like Digibyte or Bitcoin 2? This is personal preference. I do Bitcoin Cash just due to the lower network difficulty, which means you're actually more likely with lower end hardware to hit a block. A block for both Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash is 3.125 for a coin for a block. That's around about 350,000 US dollars for a Bitcoin and around about $1,600 for a Bitcoin Cash block. What you want to do is get started. We want low difficulty because our miners are less than 100 terahash, so don't even worry about the high difficulty setting. So we're going to do Bitcoin Cash, for example. So on MagicMiner, don't copy the Stratum server or the port number. Just copy solo.solohash.co.uk. That's all you need, and then you input that here in the Stratum host. Then the port number, which is 3337. So then we input that is 3337 in the Stratum port. The Stratum username, you want this to be, whatever you're mining, you want it to be the correct address for the user. So for Bitcoin Cash, you want a Bitcoin Cash address. For Bitcoin, you want a Bitcoin address. So you then input that there. Personally, I use different types of wallets like Tangent, Exodus. I also use I use Kraken as well as an exchange, and you can put whatever address that you use there. So that, and then the Stratum password I use is just X. It automatically changes that, but I use it as X, which basically means the difficulty can vary. You could do D equals and then a number, and that would change the starting difficulty. But for solo miners like this, you don't want to change the difficulty because it needs to work out where to begin at. That's literally it. And you've got frequency here, which is for overclocking, and core voltage. And this was set default as this. I haven't changed anything. This was set to default. So as it's set, and it is 149 volts. It is at this moment only 6.4 6.29 terahash. So it will eventually settle on the pool and be around about 7 terahash. So here we go. That is setting up the MagicMiner, unboxing it, setting it up, and also putting it on a pool. And we can actually see it on the pool as well. If we go down on Solar Hash to the bottom, you'll be able to track your statistics at this moment in time. And I have it on Bitcoin Cash at the moment. So if I click on my Bitcoin Cash, I have 16.68 terahash a second. That includes 2 Nano 3Ss. That equals about 12 terahash. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I've got about 5 terahash at this moment extra that is coming from the MagicMiner. Now this is still booting up. So once it reaches the 7 terahash mark, that will be added onto the total terahash for my Bitcoin Cash. As you can see, with 16.68 terahash at this moment in time, my block probability is 1 in 2,310 a day, or 1 in 330 a week, 1 in 77 a month, or 1 in 6 a year for hitting a Bitcoin Cash block, which I did say is around about $1,500, $1,600 US. I would also like to show you this. This is ASLMiner's website. They are an official Flueminer dealer, as you can see. Now, if you scroll down on the main homepage, here is the MagicMiner BG02 that I have been reviewing today. I will also in the future be reviewing a Nerd QX++, which is 4.8 terahash at 75 watts. That one just sits on your desk. I have been having my eye on the Flueminer T3, which is 115 terahash, and that is basically you're joining your big boy ASICs that are in farms. Now, back to the miner, the BG02. If you go to the BG02 itself, it says here it is $288 US. If you would like to add that to your cart, you do get a small discount with my discount code RATHOX. It's $8.64, which is about 3% off, and that would drop it to around about $279 and around about 36 cents. Plus shipping, because I am in the UK, it is a bit more expensive. It is $377 US in total for the actual miner itself, which actually is a good price for a solar miner, especially at 7 terahash. As you can see at the moment, the average hash rate is about 6.61, so it is on the pool now, getting up to the correct terahash. So if you would like to give me some love, please give me a thumbs up and comment down below if you actually like this idea of a GPU style ASIC miner. And thank you again to ASLMiner for providing me this miner to review. Hope you guys enjoy, and let's see if we can hit that Bitcoin block. Peace.